On their name, put some respect. Yeah. I think it's time for reality check. Yeah, reality check. Yeah. I think it's time for reality check. Reality check. For the young and the old. Reality check. Reality check. For the young. Reality check. Reality check.
What up, though? What up, though? What up? Though? What up, though? What up, though? What up? Though? What up, though? What up, though? What up? Though? What up, though? What up, though? What up? You got an echo going on. Though? What up, though? What up, though? What up? You got an echo going on. What up, though? What up, though? What up? You got an echo going on. What up, though? What up, though? What up? You got an echo going on. What up, though? What up, though? What up? You got an echo going on. What up, though? What up, though? What up? 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 Get ready for the show.
Am I the only one here? I might be the only one here. What's up, everybody? Dr. Winters, there he is.
Something wrong. We keep having echoes.
I think it's gone now. That was fun. Actually, Dr. Winters, how do you feel about Mercury retrograde?
That's what's happened to us. We're going backwards.
We were going backwards, forwards, repeat.
You want to come back on? How you doing, Karen?
Is it working for you on your side?
Nope.
We are live. You want me to go out and come back in?
Yeah, go out and come back in. And I'll go out and come back in after you go out and come back in. Hello? How you doing, Eve?
Hi. Hey, Dr. Winters. Hey, Chet. Hey, Karen.
Karen, same chick. Look like we continue to echo. I don't understand what's wrong today. I don't understand.
Do you have another tab open with the YouTube on?
I hope not.
Because I don't hear the echo anymore. I thought that I had tabs open.
Now we're just repeating ourselves.
Oh no.
You know. I don't know. It's this has been a bad week for me.
Oh,
With all these allergies, the tree. It's the tree time and all this pollen out there. How you
yeah.
doing, Jalen Prasad?
Yeah,
Uh,
the pollen's been kicking our butts over here too.
yeah,
Everybody has allergies, and you got crusty eyes and headaches, and just nasty. It's
yeah,
nasty. The trees wanna pollinate, right?
yeah. I mean, they got to let us know that they're still in control. But it's that fine time of the year. A lot of we can get that melanosynthesis. Melanosynthesis is just like photosynthesis. In photosynthesis, the plants, they get energy from the sun. Well,
Yep.
the same thing with melanin. We get energy from the sun too. And it's when the more you're out in the sun, the more in a sense that you pick up all this energy so that you can have more power.
That makes sense. That makes
Yeah,
sense. In the wintertime, they say we've got seasonal affect disorder because the sun's not out, or our food that we eat, standard American diet, everything's so sad in the wintertime, and then in the spring, it's supposed to be back to normal, I guess.
yeah. It's kind of it's bad though because see I keep wanting to make the food taste like it used to taste. And I'm always trying to find some food, and I say, "Damn, I want the Polish sausages. I want everything to taste the same, and nothing tastes the same
Mm.
anymore." At first, I thought it was me, but now I think it's what they put in the chemicals, and because they put this stuff in the chemicals, they've kind of destroyed any way that we can do anything. Everything is so whitewashed. Everything is so to make us in a sense forget who we are, where we're going, and things like that.
No, that's real. I remember when me and my man we went on our we started our woke journey. Or
Uh-huh.
inside of that, you find Dr. CB, and you find out alkaline eating, and then you gotta go plant based, and then you gotta detox, and then you gotta do all this stuff, and um, definitely I then there's the conversation about foods with seeds. If it doesn't have seeds, it's not good for you.
Yeah.
If it doesn't have seeds, it's gonna kill you. It's like, well, maybe, I don't know. We've been eating these yellow bananas for my whole life, and they don't
Yeah.
have the seeds that the banana. Have you seen the banana seeds? They're all big and black, not look like a banana you
Yeah.
want to eat.
And then just like I had bought some watermelon the other day, from one of the stores, and I think it was had salmonella because I had in a sense diarrhea for about 3 or 4 days. I should have went to the doctor, but I didn't. And nobody goes. So now I just feel that I don't want to buy any more watermelon or cantaloupe that's separate because sometimes they use the same knife and they might have salmonella on it. But then the watermelons that I could probably eat, they're all seedless watermelons. What do I do, Dr. Sevi? What do I do?
No more watermelon for you, Clyde. No.
I'm gonna just eat the seedless. I'm very I'll admit, Eve, that I become warped. I become warped because my wife, my baby doll, she was very athletic. How you doing, cool dude? What up, dude?
So,
And she was very athletic. We would walk every day, you know, and walk for miles every day. She would eat. She ate all the right foods, everything. And but then she still died. So then I said, what is that fair? Should I really worry about that stuff? I mean, she worried about that stuff, and yet it still took her out. You know,
mhm,
because when God gets ready to call you, you're going to leave.
it's true.
So I don't know if it's warped or not, but sometimes Eve, I don't know about you, but sometimes do you ever feel like just being honorary?
What do you mean?
But I mean, You know what's right to do. You know it's right to do it, but then you just say, F it. I don't give a damn. I'm gonna be that girl. I'm gonna be that guy, and that's just it, And
I think we're allowed sometimes, right? That's it. I think that's a human thing to say F it all right now because things are overwhelming, or you've got a lot on your plate, or well, just I guess having a lot on your plate can make you know the right thing, but then you start weighing your options. You say that the healthy meal is going to take 2 hours to make, but I'm tired and I'm hungry now. So maybe I don't get like McDonald's, but I pop this Stouffer's lasagna in the oven and it should be okay. I made it here at home, but you start looking at these things with these ingredients and you're like, I don't know if that's where we want to be, but to make lasagna from scratch, you're going to spend some time. Like if that was on the meal plan, time gone.
And like we were talking about that the other day, Yoshimada and I were talking about food. And the thing is, this is like you said, is you it's going to take time, just like me now that my wife is gone, whatever I want to eat, I want to cook. So a lot of times I just don't want to cook anything. So I'll just say, hell, I'm going to go to McDonald's and get me a chicken biscuit. That's not good for you. McDonald's will kill you. Dr. Winters, you know better. But then even though you know better, you just say, damn, why? What is it, Maybe it's a death wish. I don't know. Or maybe it's just more of a lazy thing, But again, it's that whole idea of being honorary, like sometimes I say to myself, what do I want? What do I want, And then you say, you might want to whitewash everything and say, well, then, this is what the white folks say you should do to be healthy. The doctors, white folks know everything. So they say. They even know when we were born, when we were created, and how we got on this planet.
They're just so knowledgeable, right?
Yes. And so you feel in the sense that if you can whitewash everything, then it's going to make it better. It's almost like when you're little and you get a sore and you run to your mom and you say, Mom, will you kiss it and make it better? And then mom will say, this is this silly little kid. I'm not going to do it. But anyway. See, now it's going to be better. But let me put some peroxide and a bandage on that too, you kissed it. Yeah, you don't have to do that. But no, you see, it's what do you do? What do you do? And I know when I was talking to my son, he's in his 50s now, and so now he's become a vegetarian. What do you think about that? Jay Lynn says, I'm a vegetarian, but I think it's more of a spiritual thing for me rather than a health thing. At the same time, I don't judge my brothers and sisters who chooses to eat differently. That's a good idea. I remember back when I wanted to go Muslim, and growing up in the 70s and 60s, you always hear about Malcolm X. You always see anti-Diop Muslim. Oh, okay, something in there. Malcolm X Muslim. Something must be there. So I think I'll go Muslim. So I went to my wife and I said, baby doll, because she used to call me Onatranel, because I had a real big afro. You wouldn't believe it now. So she used to call me Onatranel. I said, she said, what up? I said, well, I want to go Muslim, feasibility. I want to be in the service of God. So, what do you think? Will you come with me? She said, okay, I'll go along, but as long as I can still do Christmas, And I said, okay, well, you can still do Christmas, because the Quran just say that I believe in Muhammad and his prophets. That's all the Quran say. The Quran don't say I got to pray 5 times a day. The Quran don't say that I got to get my woman and whip her ass every day. You see, but it's people. It's people. People like to make everything go their way. What do you think about that? That the religious text can say one thing, but it's the community that has to have the final say. What do you think?
You just floored me. The Quran doesn't say that they have to pray that many times.
Hell no, it don't say that. There's nowhere in the Quran that say you pray 5 times. See, most of the stuff that people do, it's called fiqh. Fiqh. It's the school of studies. And so then you got the Hanafi, the Maliki, the Wahhabi. And so then what happened is that you had a Quran. The Quran say, okay, you pray to God. And you can find you can find maybe 2 prayers in there, but it doesn't say you got to pray 5 times a day. So what people said in a sense, aha, see, man is never satisfied, It's just like when you I'll give you an example. You find a beautiful woman, you say, damn, I like her. I think I want to make her my wife, you see. Okay, cool. Okay, I don't like women wearing makeup. Don't wear no more makeup. Because, that's floozy wearing makeup. But you can wear lipstick. And then when I get older, I say, damn, why don't you fix your hair a little different way? You said, don't do like that. You said, don't be like that. See, you become a hypocrite over time. And see, that's the way it is that we people, in a sense, have these religious books, but we always got to whitewash it. We got to take everything and we got to make it whiteful. Did I say rightful or whiteful? We got to make it whiteful. Yes, whiteful. Take, for example, you and me. Okay. I'm a black man, you're a black woman. Okay. We were put on this plane. And the thing is that I'm supposed to, in a sense, be the ruler. I'm supposed to lead you, But then at the same time, you're supposed to have a partnership. How did that work out?
Right. That's an interesting question, because to lead and follow means that you're accepting the position of the person behind. But yeah, you're right. It is supposed to be a partnership. But, I think that in the best partnerships, everybody. The people are doing the things that they do best. So, if he's the chef, then maybe he doesn't subject y'all's family to your cooking every night because he knows he can do it better than you. Oppositely, if she's the builder, or if she's cool with getting clogs out the toilet, or that's her thing, or she can do that stuff, and if he doesn't do that, he'll call the plumber before he'll do, then we're doing the things that we do well. And we've matched together because, either lacking or complementary,
So in other words, it's conversation, it's dialogue, it's communication.
Of course.
But in reality, we want everything to be the way it should be, and the way it should be is that we had to whitewash it. There's certain roles that men and women should play according to the white man or the Caucasian, and then because of the fact that we want to keep everything straight, a lot of times, in a sense, we want to do those things that we believe will make us more successful. Jalen Prasad says, well, the Amu gets the final say, and then the rest of the world follows. The Bible doesn't tell you to go to church, but people follow that. You got that right. The Quran doesn't say that women should be veiled. The Quran doesn't say that a woman should be covered from head to toe. You mean if I look at your ankles, damn, if I look at a woman's ankle, I'm gonna get all, woo, it's combobulated. Get the hell out of here. See, why is it that why is it that as men, we always have to act like the woman is threatening us when the woman is just being herself? Why is it that we have to say that because of the fact, in a sense, that you put a little, you wear some eyelashes, like some of the sisters got those 3-inch eyelashes. It's cool. But then some people, because of women, why you put that makeup on? You hear the brothers. Come on now. You wasn't back in the Black Power days.
That's interesting though, because what I find is that the rules and the restrictions is because they can't handle it. From whatever point that you started learning history, not you, but people started learning history, they would tell us that, we're tribe, bush people, that we didn't have no clothes on, we had to be civilized. But then in real time, I do know that there are some tribes that the women are topless, and I don't know that they're savagery or savages as much as that's just how everybody is. Everybody in the village is like this, so this must be normal. But then a foreigner, comes here and you're like, oh my gosh, he's everywhere, and then you can't handle it. So now insert rules on everybody, since racism and white supremacy is the global domination player right now.
But everybody likes to whitewash everything. Everything is whitish. We're in a time where everything is whitish. For example, you brought up a good point. I remember when when Ibn Battuta, he's a black Arab or whatever. So when he went to ancient what was it, Ghana, Mali, he said, "Damn, you're a Muslim, but why all these women walking around here butt naked? Put some clothes on them." But see, the whole point is this: is, as you said, it didn't bother me. I wasn't trying to rape every woman that I saw. So why is it that the clothes? When I was growing up, now listen to me, family, forgive me for this. What I'm about to say. When I was growing up, I was conditioned by movies and TV that if I saw a woman in a bikini, that was supposed to turn me on. But if I saw a native woman with her breasts hanging down and her butt showing, that wouldn't excite me, because I was conditioned that it's normal for them to do that. But it's that woman in a sense, because of the fact that she's wearing a negligee, or because she's wearing something that they told me that's sexy. My first girlfriend, I'm going to tell you, I feel ashamed today, but my first girlfriend was Marilyn Monroe. And she was my first girlfriend. I never met the damn lady, but you know how when you work with the babies, you work with the little ones, they can make anybody their girlfriend or boyfriend. Mm-hmm. And so my girlfriend was Marilyn Monroe. You see, that because I had been taught from looking at TV that if I get in a car, okay, well, you could have been okay because you got blonde hair, but anyway, you're taught that if a woman is blonde, and you get your car and you put in there, you get a woman beside her, she's got to have blonde hair, and so then we're so everything is so whitewashed. Everything is always made to make us appear that the only good thing, the only righteous thing, the only perfect thing, is in a sense that woman, is that it's just like today, I hear all these men and they keep talking about, oh wow, I like a woman with a big butt. And so they have all these women going to get these BMLs or whatever. Kanye West, his mother died trying to get that. But that never excited. I like slim women, with physiques and stuff, even though I'm out of shape. Don't I have a lot of nerve? But in a sense, and so we're always wanting something else. And then my sister, most of the day I always said the winners are all big and the women big too. But my sister, she wasn't big. And all her life, you know what she wanted?
What she wanted?
Some breasts.
Oh.
She wanted some breasts, And I love my sister. She died. But she always wanted some breasts like her sisters, But the point is this: we're always wanting everything has to be whitewashed. Everything had to be whitish. Why can't I be me and you be you and they be them?
The programming, what we've been subjected to over these different ways, TV, the radio, movies. I guess you can't see anything on the radio, but the visuals, they matter. And I always, well, actually not always, but recently, a very recent always thought that I have is, if they don't have the numbers that they have, there must be some reason for why the TV doesn't look like real life. You could watch a show and never see a Black person. I'm talking right now in 2024, you could watch a show right now and never see a Black person. And that's wild to me, because I can walk out my door and never see a white person, but I also live in a Black area. So maybe that's the case. I'd have to go find, white people if I wanted to do that. But it's, I think that when you think about who's got control over these energy waves or these frequency waves, and then maybe the cowardice, or maybe it's not cowardice, but the fear of being in low numbers, you would have to plant this illusion that you're out here in droves so that people don't do anything to upset the status quo. So if the status quo is that it's majority white people and everybody else is a minority, they've got us using these words, minority, but there are more of us than them. So now we're a minority majority. That doesn't make any sense. But, they just blanket statement something and then we're supposed to accept it. I find that that's whitewashing, telling us to accept some common sense that isn't common.
Yeah, but see, that's the whole point, is that because everything is whitewashed, you're not supposed to have common sense. You're supposed to accept whatever they tell you. For example, they committed genocide against Black Aboriginals. They committed genocide against Black Aboriginals by not killing them off. But what they did is just by them saying that the only Aboriginals were the red man, and that just because your auntie and your grandma, because they're the ones who always tell you, because your granddaddy looked like he didn't know issues, always, I guess, drinking, I don't know. But your auntie and your grandma, they always tell you, oh, you got Indian background, you're Blackfeet and stuff. And then you go to the internet and you say, my grandma, if you're a kid, you'll really be confused. Oh, grandma said I'm Blackfoot. You go to the internet and it said Blackfoot. Blackfeet are in Canada. Wait a minute. There are no Blackfeet in America. Blackfeet are in Canada today. And yet you come from North Carolina or you come from Virginia, and everybody there's a Blackfoot. What the hell is this? But You've been conditioned. We've been conditioned because they've whitewashed everything. And because I'm white and I say so, then therefore, in a sense, you begin to believe whatever they tell you to believe. You see, whatever they tell you to believe, you have to believe. You see, I have to be afraid of you. Why do I have to be afraid of you? You're a woman. Okay, so what? You're a woman, but you're supposed to be my partner. No. The European says that I have to be afraid of you because you're a witch. You're bewitching. You want to take away my energy. That's why you want me to have sex with you. You want me to have sex with you so you can take away my energy, my inner energy. And then I lose.
That's real. Right. No, they were burning people, right? At the stake.
Yes. And they still burn people. They still burn people. They still make it so that you can't. Okay, already as a Black woman, because of slavery, because our grandparents, because our granddaddies and uncles were hoes, you grow up never really believing that you can trust your man or that your man will be faithful. That's just one of those things. And yet we're also conditioned that we have to watch out for you because you might be that Sadie, you might be that woman that I gotta watch because you up to something. See, and yet, because everything's been whitewashed, and they're able to tell you who you are, what you are, and what you should believe. It creates a false imagery. I saw this video once, and it said. The conception is deception, and in a way that's what it is that we don't really know what's really real anymore, or do we?
I think we do know what's real, but because they've conditioned us to not accept what we know, because they haven't said it, we've got a cognitive dissonance going on. So just like you said, grandma told you we're Cherokee, you went online and found that the internet said that you were wrong. But grandma found that out from her mom, who found out from her mom. How can we have 4 generations of people calling themselves Cherokee before the internet? This is before technology was allowing us to share the information like that.
Right.
And it's like paper genocide. I didn't know that was a thing until I want to say it was Tariq talking about Walter Plecker But here in Virginia, just changing just something super simple, like on the census, you were listed as Indian, Native, or whatever, but now you're Negro, Black, or mulatto, which is, that's so strange. I've seen that in my own family history. They've gone from mulatto to Black to mulatto to Black. Same person every 10 years, they mulatto, Black, mulatto, Black. And it's like, what are we doing here? Like, what's going on? And I think I want to say that it was you who said the first mulattoes were the Blacks, the Black mixtures. You know, it wasn't this black and white mulatto. You know, it was like a Black and Indian, or
it was Indians. Indians were the originals. But right. Again, they changed terminology. But go ahead.
Oh, I just, it's so fascinating that, you know, just something super simple like your paperwork, and then taking away your access to the paperwork can cause such a divide. So right now, you know, in 2024, people, you know, are having arguments with strangers on the internet about their lineage, about their heritage, because of Google, or because, you know, they did some research and their research is supposed to trump your family story.
Yeah,
but you know, like telling this story the whole time. You know,
Kudu said old folks like Dick Gregory and many Black Muslims call it tricknology. It is, but it's much more complicated, because see, you know, it's look at it from this perspective. You know, we've been conditioned living in this world of white supremacy. We've been conditioned that the man knows everything. We've been conditioned that we should follow the male gender in terms of, in a sense, understanding the world. Okay, that's what they've taught us. But our Jolies, our griots have always been auntie or grandma. Our griots, our Jolies, the storytellers, the history keepers, have always been grandma, auntie. See, it hasn't been that Black man. And maybe that's because of the fact that the Black man was so much outside of the family, or they died and they didn't live. You know, like when I was growing up, I didn't know about a grandfather. But then, in a sense, is that I had grandfathers on both sides, but they were dead. You know, how did granddaddy die? Well, he's at gambling, throwing some dice. Oh, no. You know, but then the Boule people, because the fact, in a sense, they came from families that had money, or they were, in a sense, preachers' children or entertainers. They knew their grandfathers, and they grew up with their grandfathers. Now my kids have grown up with me, and my grandkids know me. But in a sense, it's these differences, because see, we're always trying to create a society which is whitewashed. We're trying to create a society that reflects what the European says the society should be. We want our relationships to be the way the European says the relationship should be. But how do we form that? How can we do that? How can we live under that, Eve?
I don't know that we should like it as much as we've been doing it, you know, since they've been introduced to us over here. And I think that it's so crazy. Every time I listen to you talk about antiquity, and then like what you just said, the storytellers were the aunties and the grandmas, but in real time, you'll watch a movie like Sparta or Vikings, and the old storyteller is this old man, you know, old man, you know, and that's like, okay, I mean, I guess, you know, because the young men are out fighting or exploring or whatever, and you know, but to what you just said, if that's true, then there wouldn't really be any old men to tell the story. That doesn't make any sense. Right. So now in real time, just got goosebumps. In real time, we're dissecting a common belief, which would be that the old man passes down the stories. Mm-hmm. But we already know that that's not true, because a lot of people can look in their own family and see that their grandma has a big ass Bible, She got all the obituaries, she's got all the birth announcements, and she's keeping it. She's waiting for you to come talk to her about it. Maybe it's not your grandma. It's my auntie in my family, but they're waiting. They are waiting to pass down this information, but most people don't give a damn. Or when they do, it's to find that they own something, or they hear we talking about reparations. They're like, oh, we had some land. Let me look at those papers that I've had my whole life that I've never cared about until now that I get something tangible from it. But they make it real easy to not want to pay attention to that stuff, because once you start paying attention to it, you have to say that you either have perpetuated a lie, you've passed on a lie, you ignored a lie, or you ignored red flags. It's a lot of self-reflection and accountability on our part for accepting their definition of reality. And I don't think a lot of people want to have that conversation with themselves. Not really.
But do you really want to know? Because I think back is that growing up, your family, that they teach you about the evil of society. They teach you about the fact, in the sense, is that that the European may be your enemy. They teach you that the European is against you. But then at the same time, for some reason, when you leave your house at 18 or 19 and go away to college, or go away to the military, even though your family has warned you about this stuff, you still go away with an attitude that the world is your oyster. And you really believe that if you work hard, no matter what your mom and dad said, you really still believe that if you work hard, if you just do the right thing, you're going to be successful. And then when you get out there in the real world and you find out that Europeans, because of their privilege in society, they're going to get things. And so then no matter sometimes how hard you work, you may still not be able to become successful. It's kind of almost crushing. I don't know if that happened to you.
No, it's very crushing. Because I didn't go in the military, but I know what you mean by that. In the same type of instance, people are told to go to college because it's supposed to make your life so much better. But what I really think is that a lot of our parents didn't know what the move was, but they were told that if you just had a degree, you would be doing, what I'm doing. So now they have to pass this on. Again, that's kind of what I just talked about. You have to accept that you passed on some bullshit. And a lot of people don't want to do that. They want to sit here and say, I did the best I could. I didn't know all that stuff you know now, Eve. The technology wasn't there. Oh, this is my favorite. My parents would say, oh, you went to college and learned some big words. And they didn't want to have a lot of conversations about my newfound wisdom, because I was making them feel stupid. And not like I was purposely, but just like, man, they don't have they weren't having these thoughts. Who has time for some of the thoughts that I have? And then, man, just the explosion of information. Again, they didn't have the time. They knew what them white people told them. Look, you would be winning right now if you had a degree in this field that you've been working for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
No worry about your real experience, your life experience, which is what they're telling us now. No, I've got degrees. I got not a bunch. No, I have two degrees. But in real time, they'll say, Eve, you don't have enough experience for this job. Okay.
Or too much experience.
Right now, or you got too much experience for this job. Mm-hmm. I know people who want to work who've been told no, because the place that was hiring, that is looking for competent people to show up, you've got a for hire sign up right now. We need people. Oh no, but no. You're going to want too much. You're overqualified. We can't hire you. It's like, if I'm not talking about my qualifications, why are you talking? Like, why can't we talk about the offer? You've got a job for hire right now. What are you paying? Okay, I'll accept that. When can I start? But we're not even getting there because they keep washing us out of the race.
Yeah,
almost like we're getting hosed, like civil rights hosed down and out of places.
But it's very complicated because I sometimes think about the fact I think I've mentioned once before that, I remember one day in 1973, 72, I was talking to my father. I used to call him Daddy. I said, Daddy-o, I said, we got to turn this mother out because, hell, things just aren't right. We got to make things right. We got to start a revolution. This is funny. This is funny. This is funny. One of one of my grandson, he said, Granddad, with this war in Israel, now it's gonna really start. What you always told us about. I said, hell, because this is it. Okay, back in the 70s, forgive me, I'm going on a back in the 70s, the Hebrew Israelites, they used to teach that, that God sent us over here, and that we would all, and that when the war in Israel began, we were going to go back to Israel because we were the chosen people, and we were going to go back to Israel, and we were going to take over the kingdom because that's our place, because we're the chosen people. And so then you're going to you had to get your children prepared to fight. So I raised my kid. I got 5 boys, and I raised them to be ready to fight in the war. To fight in the war. I always told them, and I know my daughter-in-law. She listens to the program, and so then she was so my oldest son. His wife. My oldest son. I always tell my other sons, you got to listen to him and be ready when the war starts. When the war starts, so y'all can be ready. Y'all got to fight, and you're not going to give up. And so my grandson said the other day, hey, Pops, the war, Granddad, the war, maybe the war is coming. I said, damn, not in their 50s. He said, who the hell they going to fight? He said, well, what about us? I said, well, I haven't trained you, grandboys. Y'all just go ahead and live your life. Because back in the 70s, it was just, we knew the war was coming. The war was coming, Eve. Do you know that, family? Cool dude, help me out. The war was coming. I knew the war was coming, and it never came.
Is that because of their anxiety? Every so many years, we have this whole, the world is going to end because of XYZ, or, back Y2K. The computers were everything was gonna blow up and malfunction when 000 happened. That's them doing that shit in real time, and then we're supposed to acquiesce or just they just doing that thing that they do every 10 years. It
may have been that, but see, it's because of our whole world as foundational Black Americans is built around the Bible. Let's face it. I knew the Egyptians were Black ever since I went to church, to Sunday school, and the Bible said we were the children of Ham, And so then I always knew the Egyptians were Black from the church, and so we were always preparing for this battle, this great battle, And so I wanted my sons to be ready to fight, but now my oldest son now he's what 50, he's 55. What shit? I mean, he's still a tough guy. He's still a tough guy, but I mean, it's like we were out to dinner, me, him, and his wife, and she said, look at him. So he's over there smiling and stuff. She said, look how content he is. I said to myself, that's the damn problem. You make my son content. He's supposed to be frisky and ready to fight, but it's not. It didn't happen, Eve. It didn't happen.
But what if it had happened and they weren't ready? Man, I'm
true.
glad that they are ready and that they were ready and that the information is passed on. Yeah. Right. And they didn't pass on no bullshit either, because really, with all the cyber attacks and with all the testing that's going on, it could go black right now, boom, end of stream, and none of this anymore. And then a lot of people are going to lose their fucking minds because they really don't know how to act, how to operate without it. So no, shout out to you for being overly zealous about being prepared. because some people are not.
But it's hard. I mean, I was looking at this show, and so this Maya Indian woman, she was talking about that. We Mayas, and then she had the corn, and she had the corn and the mortar, I think they called it. She had the stone crushing the corn, and she kept rubbing it back, and it turned into bread. I said, "Damn, we don't know how to do that. We don't know how to weave stuff. We don't know how to make baskets. We don't know how to do much or nothing." Eve, can you imagine people like you and others who are learning these gifts, how to make various things, that you guys are going to be a great commodity if we ever went into any type of decline in civilization. But most of us don't know what to do. Why is that? Why is that we're left weak? Because I want to go to Aldi's, I don't speak a German, but I want to get the cheap food,
No, the convenience. Whitewashing is convenient.
It is.
It blanket statements a lot of different things. You don't have to think too hard about reasons why, because they've already implanted them on you subconsciously inside your head. You knew that this was supposed to happen this way because what did they do to deserve this treatment? You start asking questions that they have, and now it's your argument. Across the board, I find that we sound like them. And that's why, if the shit hits the fan, most people are not going to know what to do because they've been waiting for White Daddy to tell them, hey, go grow some food, go try it. Your food still has seeds. See if those do something in the ground. But they haven't gotten those instructions from them.
That's interesting because you're making me think about something that I don't really like to talk about. But since we talk about stuff on this show, and it's not really has to be verified. I always felt that in incarnation, I think we incarnated different times, and I think we incarnated as different races, or we can incarnate in the same race. And so, a few years about 10 years ago, I said, damn, I think it's a lot of white people. I think a lot of people who used to be white have now become incarnated as black. You're laughing. I really did believe that. I might be right.
You might need to still believe that, though.
Yeah, because I said a lot of us don't think the way we used to think, and I said well, I said some people are smart. Some people, they probably always incarnate in a position where they don't have to suffer too much, So I said now that black people had the civil rights movement, then a lot of people who incarnated as white back in the day, they said, well, I'll be black now because black is safe. Black, I can be black and I can be boule or whatever,
Oh, that is funny. That's a hell of a thought, because I do agree that, energy, it doesn't go anywhere. You can't have studied science at any point in grade school and say that energy goes somewhere. It just changes form. So once we understand that, then sure, why not? I don't know that we would incarnate as something other than human, though, because I think that there are schools of thought you can reincarnate as a fly or as a tree or something. That doesn't make sense to me because the energy is not the same. But yeah, for sure. Maybe you didn't have a choice in the matter, as far as how you came out, if you weren't on a certain path already. I think that some people like my man, I feel like he's been here a bunch of times. Like he knows things. And when I say he knows things, he knows it. Like he can explain it to a baby, knows it. And that's so wild to me, because it's like, you shouldn't know that. The only way that you would have known that, not learned it, know it, is if you experienced it yourself.
What is this identity? Does he have a black identity?
A black, yes.
A positive black identity?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, see, the point is that if you can have a positive black identity, you can access the Akashic records a little bit better than other people. See, some people, they don't want to be B1, and they say, well, hey, I'm okay. I'm just a woman, I'm just a woman, But because of the fact they say I'm just a woman or just a man, and they don't specify who they are, then the ancestors they don't talk to you. You see,
Ooh.
see, see the ancestors are always talking to us. Sometimes we don't listen. You know, see, it's just like that's why most women are very intuitive. They're very intuitive. A lot of times they can just feel stuff and they can know stuff. It's a commercial in Chicago, and they talk about this insurance, and then no, they talk about putting in a furnace, and then at the end of the commercial, the father says, how did you know that? And then the little baby says, "We're girls, we know things." But see, because of the fact that I've read a lot of books and I studied a lot, I do know that girls and women, they do know stuff. Because the fact in a sense is that you have the ability to draw information from the gods. That's why I don't believe any white man has ever been a prophet, because I don't believe they can believe in God. Now I think it's some white women who could possibly be prophetic, but I don't think in a sense that any of them can be gods. Kudu said, this is interesting. Kudu said it was Nietzsche said in his book, "Thus spoke Zarathustra, I shall not believe in a God that does not know how to dance." Generally speaking, white folks don't have any rhythm. Of course they don't. But I mean, it was the same thing when I was growing up. When I was growing up, the man who could dance, he had the most women. Because see, even if a woman can't dance, if you can go on the dance floor and you can make a woman look stylish, you can make a woman look, in a sense, you can make a woman look cool or make a woman look graceful, then in a sense they like that. So dancing is important. I've also heard that when a man can't dance, he's dead. But those are things that aren't really relevant, are they? See, maybe it's a saying somewhere that if a woman can't twerk, it's all over. But I mean, damn, that's something new. That's something new.
See, that's a very interesting concept, because I find that a lot of women know how to move their hips when it comes to doing certain things, and then outside of certain environments, they get real prudish. So,
well, they should be prudish, because I mean, come on now. If it wouldn't have been for what's his name, pop that coochie, hey, pop that coochie, baby, pop the coochie, we would not have it. Come on now. He did it.
You're right. And that's a very interesting point, because in real time, I just watched this video of this lady has spiders, and she had a boy spider and a girl spider, and the boy spider was doing a mating dance. He's dancing for her, and she's like, I'm not really feeling it. I'm not really. Okay, I'm kind of feeling it. Yeah, I'm kind of, and then in real time, I watched us in spider form, and he's doing his thing, little spider, he's getting it, and she's just kind of ignoring him, throwing, but then at the end of it all, she's like, okay, you did your dance, and let's go do what we're gonna do, spider love or whatever. But
the Black Widow, she taking your head. After the dance, baby, she's taking your head.
Gone. No, but maybe that's their familiarity. Maybe they have a fear of being taken out by their women. So I always thought that it was because they used to eat the women, right? I thought that the feminism thing straight came from the fact that, during periods of nothing, y'all used to eat each other. So there's a very real reason for why y'all don't like each other. And then you want us to not like him. But we didn't used to eat each other. There's a disconnect there. But maybe it's something even more simple. Like what you just said, he can't believe in a bigger thing. And she taps into it naturally, just being a vessel or being closer to us being a woman. I don't know. Yeah. What do you think about that?
I think it's very complicated. I think Europeans, they may have used to eat their women, because a woman wasn't, I mean, a woman wasn't even a vessel for sex. Remember, they could have sex with a horse, or they would prefer a lamb, and or a lamb or something. So a woman, in a sense, was not seen as being important to Europeans, and that's mainly because of the fact that many Caucasians, because when they left the caves, they don't believe in the body, and the body has they have no sense of body. They have no sense of a spirit. So then, therefore, because there's no spirit, then there is no body. That's one of the reasons why you find a lot of times that many of them are engaged in the masochism and stuff like that. It's just like you find that most men, because the fact in the sense is that not most men, but some men, some weak men. I'll just say weak men. Weak men, they never allow themselves to relax. They never allow themselves to really, in a sense, allow a woman to see them.
No, I guess you wouldn't be able to, because if you're supposed to lead, and then I can see through you and your inability to lead, well, maybe you think that I'm a Black Widow and I'm take your head off after our interaction or whatever. But it's so strange that we adopt their behaviors even though it doesn't make sense. So this atheistic thing, that's what it sounds like. Atheism comes from them. We've accepted and have always acknowledged something bigger than us. They come and see, oh, they're worshiping the sun. They got bird head people walking around, just whatever, bastardize everything that they see with their own blanket statement. And then, well, now we get to remove these people from literature. They don't even get to read their stories anymore. And then 200 years later, it's supposed to make sense. But I find that a lot of us it still didn't make sense. So even though we couldn't read for however long we could read, even though we couldn't talk for however long we could talk in our native tongue, when we got back to it, people were still talking about the same shit that they were talking about 200 years ago or 300 years ago, or just whatever was close to it, and then they get punished for it. Or now, now we've got access to a lot of information, and then people will, they will stand 10 toes down telling you that you're wrong about your family story when they're reading something in a book and you talk to actual people. Which one is primary research? My actual documented family members, or you reading it in a very old book? Like whose science is more important or weighs more at that point?
You make those choices, and I think that most people, in a sense, because of the fact that we went through this whitewashing where we believe whatever Zadie says it has to be correct, and so then therefore we always align ourselves with those folks or with those people. And see, then it's very difficult. It's very difficult because see, whenever you dare to do something different, like I used to tell my daughter, and she doesn't listen to me, but I used to tell my daughter that if you want to find a good man, you had to make that man talk to you, and you had to make that man open up. Because see, in reality, your woman allows you to lead. See, that's one of the reasons why today it's not being Machiavelli. It's not that your woman is Machiavelli. It's just the whole idea is that a woman who's knowledgeable, she allows you to lead. For example, you might be somewhere with your woman and you might do some stupid ish and your wife will smile, but then when she get home, she'll say, Clyde, that was stupid. You shouldn't have did this. You shouldn't have did that. You shouldn't have did that. That was embarrassing, but she didn't front you off because she allowed you to see, she allowed you to appear. And see, the problem that we have is that our fathers taught us, don't listen to your woman. Don't really pay too much attention to what the hell she has to say. Because the point is this, is that she just wants to rule you like your mama, and you don't want your mama ruling you, do you? And this is what we've been taught. And those of us who listen to those things, we're lost. We're lost. It's a lot of lost men out there. It's a lot of lost men. I'll admit I tell my sons three things. I said that a woman wants your leadership, number one. I said number two, even though the white man, he's whitewashed society, and he says in a sense that you should always be the boss. I said that sometimes in a sense, even though you don't take everything your wife says as important, you should listen sometimes. And number three, don't come home at the same time every day. Because if you come home at the same time every day, then the woman will be upset when you're not there. So when you're not home at that time. So, you might want to stop off and drink with the boys. You may not want to do anything, but you never come home at the same time. And number four, you never tell them how much you make. You never talk about them how much you make, because most women don't give a damn as long as the bills are paid.
That part.
And so then, I mean, it's true. Look how many of these relationships, they had really nice relationships, and then they got married, and then the minute, in a sense, the man loses his job, they break up. Instead of the woman saying, "Well, I'll pick up the slack until we can get on our feet and move forward." But they've been conditioned because, see, this is what whitewashing has done to us, Eve. Whitewashing has made us see the world in a deformed way. See,
yes,
because we don't even know what the world is all about, because we're trying, in a sense, we don't use common sense. We're trying to always do what we think. We always think what we think white people would do. Kudu says, if you can't align yourself with the harmony of the spheres, how can you be a righteous being? Don't lose your common sense listening to following white folks. But we do. We do lose our common sense, because we just know that if we do exactly what the white folks do, aren't we going to be better off? If I get that education, aren't I going to be better?
You're supposed to be.
Right.
You get that. If you follow their playbook, then life's supposed to be good. At some point, they're going to say that you deviated. You didn't do X, Y, Z. I've heard that time and time again. If you don't follow exactly what I say and then you lose, then it's your fault. And no regard for racism, white supremacy. Zero regard for the fact that some people will get it just because of who they are and who they know. No matter my experience, my intent, my what's the word? My drive. I want to do a good job versus this person who just is here just because they're here. Yeah. One of the first things in elementary school, in literature, language, writing, whatever class you want to call it, because I don't call it English anymore, I call it writing and grammar. No, they do the word association game. So you say a word, and then they're supposed to say the word that comes to whatever word comes to their head. So it will go like sunny day, water balloon, or white. Like, what is going to go with white? But with black, it's supposed to be bad. They say black, and the first word you're supposed to say is bad, negative, hell, just some sort of negative connotation for black. And then white's supposed to be pure, holy, angelic. But really, white is the absence of its bleach. You don't want to get bleach on your clothes, on your colored clothes. It's deforming, like you just said. So now we're looking at the world through these bleach eyes.
But the definition of black has changed. See, the original, listen to this. Black is what? Black is fiery. Mm-hmm. Black, in a sense, is burning. Okay, if something is fiery and burning, then the next word has to be what? Shining. Mm. So see, to be black means that you're shining. Because see, if you're fiery, if you're burning, that means that you're shining, because you're putting light on stuff. But we've been conditioned, in a sense, to see these terms in a negative fashion because of this whitewashing. It's how we interpret things. And so then we don't really even see our own reality. You see, how can I love you when I've been conditioned to think that you're Sadie? you're a sassy woman. I gotta be ready to slap you in the mouth, and all that type of stuff. Because this is what
that's
our
right.
fathers teach us.
Some people will say that is love. Your willingness and wanting to correct me in this form or fashion, because the white man will do it worse. So just be happy that it's me popping you versus them. And we've actually had the same conversation with our children. Life's not fair. They know that life's not, from when they can talk, they know life's not fair. So it sucks to be the baby because they're getting it straight out the gate versus the older one who kind of to it in real time. But, when we say that and then something happens that they don't like, well, I'd rather you learn it now and learn how to cope or learn some sort of response to not getting your way versus something out in the world happening to you, and then you have an explosive episode or you do something that we can't take back, or just because you're emotional because you didn't get your way, because life's not fair. That I don't think they have the same type of training. I don't think they go through the same conversations with their children, because for them life is fair. Life's grand. America's the land of the free. You can go and be and do what you want to do, and everybody's happy. Look, the niggas ain't in chains no more. we got people coming over and
but Eve, we say that, but we still teach our children that if they just work hard, they're going to be successful. We still teach them that lie.
You're right.
But it's a truth. It's a truth, but it's a lie. It's a lie, because we know that like what did Tariq say? Tariq said they got $1 billion in just their whiteness. They got $1 billion in their whiteness.
Right.
But at the same time, we don't want our children to lose hope, so we still send them out on a mission. But we're going to take a few minutes, family, and look at a few commercials. Please support us. Doom, doom, doom.
Reality check.
Hey. Hey. I've just written a new book, History and Culture of the Black Aboriginals of America. Yes, I've written a new book. This book is called History and Culture of Afro-Americans. It's about the Aboriginal Americans. It's about the first people who inhabited America. Many people don't know about our great culture, this super culture that we created, but I discussed this book. In 489 pages, you'll find out so much information, great information, about, in a sense, what the Aboriginal foundational Black Americans did. You're going to see, in a sense, that Black people contributed much here. When the first Europeans got here, that's what they found. Yes, they found Black Aboriginals inhabiting the Americas. It was the Black Aboriginals that built this country. This is why you had to get my book, History and Culture of the Aboriginal Blacks of the Americas. In this book, you will find out the truth. You will know what we created. You will know who we are. Get this book. Buy it now.
What's up, everybody? It's Eve. Follow me on Twitter and YouTube for space recordings and special live programs. 2024, we're doing things a little different if you haven't peeped game by now. So yeah, this is your chance. You can do it now if you want. Hit the bell here on YouTube at JustEveB, or find me on X at Justice4Just_Us. That's JUSTICE, 4 JUST_US. And if you feel so inclined, support my channel and the work we do over here. The Cash App and Patreon links are in the description. Black first.
I'm right now I'm teaching my Afrocentric research course. I hope you might want to take it. So here's some information about how to join my Afrocentric research course.
Afrocentric research course.
You will learn how to interpret anthropological, historical, legal, genetic, and other forms of research literature. This is 30 hours of learning how to do qualitative and quantitative research methods. The course begins on April 16th. The class will be taught every Tuesday for 15 weeks. Join Dr. Winters' research class. Afrocentric Research Course. Become a researcher.
You can join the class if you're interested. And, Tones Phi, he makes it.
Since the goal touch your heart with a touch your heart with a dinner rose. Shake the spirit one time, it gets old. She gon' take me out of space into another zone. So the spirit, she ain't messing with them petty hoes. Microwaves and cobalt outside her phone. Smoking in that vibe and smoking good on that drone. Call me eating out with the cuz all up in her throat. This queen approach, she gon' drop it low to the flow. You know she liquid gold with the alchemy in the bowl. Trippy super soda's the greatest tale never told. She gon' get you right, you can set up on your goals. You gon' spend the night in the harmony out with your toes. You know she's super fine and the aura down to her bones. Super magic fairy, I'm lost in the rituals. She give me life like butterflies on the rose. Really rich and old, ain't nothing like cracker trolls. Hidden in the clothes, an extraterrestrial. And she never fold, try crackers up in the throat. She drink your wine, she rock you up like a pole. And she spark my mind with intellectual pose. Shake butter oils and linger up in your nose. Independent goddess, like rhythm up in the soul.
Yellow honey, drip slow, sweet agave at the toe. Independent finance, wine, citrus mist. My Wonder Woman, I wonder how to.
Tones Phi, a lot of the jewelry that he makes is based on artifacts that they found in the mounds. Yes, artifacts in the mound. A lot of these commercials were made by Yoshimod Production. Please supporting Yoshi. Check out Yoshimod. He can do wonders. Me and Sister Shanice, we teaching a Black British history class. We teach it every Monday. We're gonna do part 2 beginning on April 29th. I hope you'll join us for the class, and it'll be very interesting. It's on British time. It's 7:30 to 9:30. That's British time. But in the United States, the class is going to begin at 1:30. Please, join the class.
Greetings, family. Sister Shanice here, and I'm absolutely delighted to be able to bring you a new training program that starts on Monday, the 29th of April, 2024. It's going to be running for 6 strongs or 6 weeks, and we're going to be focusing on when Britain was black. Yes, indeed. Did you know that there was a time when in Britain we were worshipping a black Jesus on the cross? No, it's not just Russia. Did you know that there was a time in Britain where the mother and child was actually portrayed as black? Did you know that there was a time in Britain when the majority of people in Parliament were black? Did you know that there was a time in Britain when the monument builders were black? Did you know there was a time in Britain when the aristocracy was black, the kings, the queens, and royalty was black? Family, there has been so much history that has been hidden from us as a people. And we're going to be resurrecting this history on our 6 weeks training program. So make sure you join me, family, if you want to appreciate love the extent to which we as Africans have a greater claim to Britain than is currently being portrayed. If you are a Black history enthusiast, if you want to learn about where to go to do the research and find out more about Black Britain, if you are maybe training others in Black history, developing curriculum materials, maybe teaching in the field of history, and want to know more about Africans in Britain, then this is definitely the course for you. As I said, it's starting on Monday the 29th of April. Installment options are available. We're looking forward to you joining us on that day. I have leading researcher, anthropologist, archaeologist, linguist, man himself, Dr. Clyde Winters. So join us, family. We look forward to you being there. Okay, family, so sign up for this new, innovative, inspirational, groundbreaking course that's going to unravel, resurrect some buried treasures of African history. Don't delay. Go to sistershanice.gumroad.com. That's sistershanice.gumroad.com. Bye for now.
Yes.
I just love that.
Yes, Sister Shanice, that's my oracle. I'll tell you is that this woman, what make Sister Shanice such a person is that she'll tell me something and it'll just get me going into research mode. So I have to kind of avoid her a little bit. Yes, I do. Because the Sister Shanice, she's that type of person who's always thinking, when I first met her, she had written a book already. And she always promised that she was going to do a book on the East African cities, So I always get on her case. She's written 2 books now. She's written two books that she's published. And I keep on telling her, you got to give me that book on the cities and on the Swahili coast of East Africa. But that's another subject. But again, we're back here. And family. Don't you dare leave this page because I'm with Just Eve. She's got blonde hair, and blondes have more fun. My wife, my baby doll, she dyed her hair blonde sometime because she said it would hide the gray. But I know you don't have any gray hair. You're still young. You're young.
Nice.
But she said that the gray wouldn't show up so much.
No, that's so crazy. My hair is jet black when it's not blonde. And my grays are not gray. They turn white. And
okay.
So no, you can't see the white because it's blonde. But when my hair is dark, you can see it. And I wonder if that's if premature gray is part of our story too, because my mom had premature gray, her mom had premature gray, and
could be genetic, like my father. He has my father, like my father and my brothers. He lost all his teeth, and then it's hereditary. And then one of my brothers, he has no teeth, and so then it's kind of, you don't like things like that,
Yeah, no, I don't like stuff like that.
No. But sometimes you have these things that are hereditary, but it's all for the good. It's all for good because see, a lot of brothers, we're real silly. I remember back in the Black Power days, and it started back they tried to do this stain bullshit. I'm sorry, about 3 or 4 years ago. Now, sisters, you can't wear no wigs. Don't wear no wigs. Don't wear no wigs. You say don't wear a wig, but you're always trying to find that white woman. Get out of here. You always want that. You want that Latino. Kevin Samuels. Yeah, I got to speak in Latin. Kevin Samuels. We have to do this. We have to take over the black woman, and he's gonna die He's gonna have a heart attack having sex with a Latino.
With a margarita.
Hypocrite.
That is so crazy and real. Like we talked about earlier with the BBLs, people will say that this is what they don't want, But then you look at what they're doing and it's like, oh, okay, you like the girls with the ass and titty, so then, well, what if you were a woman who's not top heavy or bottom heavy or whatever? You don't want to go to the gym. Look, it's work. It is work. I was, did you say it was your sister who
You wanted big breasts.
That wasn't me. I guess it's me now, maybe. But growing up, I never had that issue. I didn't have any cake, Dr. Winters. The booty wasn't bootying. Not until I started going to the gym and working on it, because you can work on things, but people don't want to do the work. They just want to get some injections. But look, Sister Shanice's commercial it's how I jumped down this rabbit hole for our conversation tonight. Did you see what Putin said about Black Jesus?
Yeah.
So they said that was AI, but I don't know what they're saying is AI, if the whole speech is AI or if the translation was AI.
See, the whole point is this, that you guys out there, if you want to find out more about this stuff, you get my book on blacks in Europe. But anyway, the thing is this, is that every continent was black, Eve. And what makes it so bad is that because of the fact that we have a tripartite origin, the black Aboriginals, the black Irish, and sub-Saharan African, we've been conditioned, we've been whitewashed. We've been conditioned to believe every light skin, a red bone brother or sister, well, their grandmama had to have been raped by the white man. No.
Right.
We weren't raped. We already had light-skinned people over here as chattel slaves. But because the fact, in a sense, is that we don't know our history, we allow other people to whitewash us and make us believe things that we shouldn't believe. For example, just like you hear O'Shea Duke Jackson. I listen to him sometime, and some of the other brothers. Oh, look at that! She got a big old butt. Who looking for a big ass butt? They don't look pretty to me. I'm gonna shut up. but they don't look. Maybe because my wife was slender. My wife, in a sense, she had a Coca-Cola shape, and so then she had a nice ass, not a really big butt. I used to just a lot of times make her mad. Say, you got a flat butt. I don't have a flat butt. Well, I said, well, it's not poking out enough, man. Sorry, man. But again, in the sense is that we be whitewashed with this imagery. We have them tell us who to like, who we should want to be like, who we should be around, and we're constantly allowing people to define who and what we are. How you doing, Ali? Lee Asli, Nia Muhammad, Lolil, laughing out la la la, whatever. But again, in a sense, it's very difficult, Eve. And just being that's what I love about your name, Just Eve. That is a beautiful name. You see? Why is that a beautiful name? Because you can be every woman. You're just Eve. See? But now we had Eve. That's Eve. But see, Just Eve is you're every woman. So that means, in a sense, that everybody's welcome to interpret and see you however they want to see you. Some of you guys can't see the chat, but sometime in the chat they come and they talk about how beautiful Eve is, and and it's kind of sad they never compliment me.
Oh.
But I make ugly faces, so who cares? Oh!
They came for the knowledge. They're here because you don't waste our time. In this conversation, people like you are dangerous because you're uncompromising about the information and you're a falsificationist. So not only can you not just tell you something, but if it's something that negates something that you already know, well, they would have to come with some sort of facts, evidence for them to get you off of that.
They have the good argument.
Right. But now, they are creating evidence, that we see it might have been the Smithsonian or the History Channel, one of those channels, but they're talking about King Tutankhamun, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they showed this malformed, light, non-melanated looking boy. And I'm like, okay, all right, maybe I don't have the ancestry all right, but you know, I can see I can see her bust in my head right now. Oh, my students are gonna kick me. Don't tell them I couldn't remember who King Tutankhamun's mom was. But Queen Ta, is that his grandma?
Yeah.
Okay, so she's got this big afro, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's his family. But then their recreation of is this boy who's got this straight hair ponytail, and he's very, very, very light. Like he's got a little bit of melanin, but he's very, very, very light. And I'm like,
but have you ever noticed that the French recreations of Tut, and whenever the French do a recreation, they put a little feminine tinge. They try to make him a little bit more girlish.
yeah,
You know, whenever they do a recreation, or continue.
it is that it's so strange. I think that they put themselves into the computer. You know, they say like how you can do AI right now. Write me a paper about this using these prompts. So then they do the same thing when they're recreating things. You know, make this antiquated, but use my features. So then the computer's like, okay, I can do that. But then in real time, if you look like that over there, why don't we have stories of y'all treating sunburn or skin cancer or, you know, all of the ailments that y'all are being afflicted with now because of proximity to the sun? And we're not even super close to the sun over here in America versus on the continent, right? Boom, at the equator. You know, some of the math ain't math in Dr. Winters.
But it's not mathing because it's all crazy, you know. Just like when I used to when I talked to Dr. Short, and so Dr. Short, you know, he's a good genealogist, and when he gets started, you know, you might, you know, so he's been able to connect his family to Charlemagne, all that type of stuff, and then you just say, aha, you say, but we've been conditioned at everything, we've been whitewashed. Everything is white or black, black or white. And yet, many people who we think were white were not white. They would have been black. They may have been, in a sense, they may have been red bone, or they may have been a little light skin, or they may have been, you know, some of the descriptions of some of the roles are super black, you know, blackety black or whatever. But again, it says we've been so conditioned, we've been so whitewashed to see everything from a white and black perspective that it's hard for us to ever really believe, in a sense, that things could have been different. And it's really hard. It's really hard. It's just like remember one of your aunties or on one side of the family, everybody was super light. I remember when my family first had the reunion on the winter side, and you know, they always talked about the mulatto. You know, it's always proud about the mulatto in the family. Oh, da 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 da. You know, you come to the family reunion. They got a big picture of the mulatto. You know, the black was, you know, little small pictures and shit. But the mulatto is real black. It's not real black, but he's the
Real
biggest.
large, right?
Yeah. See, on the winter side, when I was reading, when I did the thing, you know, they were very mulatto-ish. Like my father had green eyes, you know, he had gray eyes, and all that type of stuff. And so that's why he was a hoe. No, he wasn't a hoe. Those women, they made him do it because he had gray eyes. He didn't intend to be like that.
He didn't know he was gonna have green eyes.
No, it was the women who did that because they thought he was something different. This light skin, nigga, get these different color eyes. You know,
That's real though. That's even whitewashed, right? So then what you were talking about, people think that light skin comes from your grandmama getting raped.
Yeah.
But we create all the different colors.
We do.
We know that. And then in real time, people will tell you, I've seen like 5 different arguments today on Twitter where they're telling people that you were passing in Louisiana, so you're not black. But if you're passing, then you're not white.
White.
So you've already said that they're not white, but you're not letting them be black. Like, self-identity matters for sure. I'm not saying that it doesn't, but I'm just saying just bare bones genetics, that person is black. Now, I'm not going to make them be black. If they want to identify as something else, fine. But the ones who want to be black, the ones who are black and who are saying that they're black, but they couldn't help their very light, fair skin or their color eyes or their fair hair, or whatever, they should be able to be who they are.
They should, because I started out super light skinned, but then the older I got and the smarter I got, the darker I got. So it just came from education. But I mean, damn. Yeah. But see, but I think it's hard, Eve. I think it's very hard because you got two different ways of life. You got the handsome man and you got the pretty girl, you see. Okay. When you're a handsome brother, when you're a handsome brother, then you have a power because a lot of girls like you, you see. And because a lot of girls like you, you have a lot of confidence. You have a lot of confidence, except when they say that you look really cute, but look kind of little feminine there. Now that's not good. But see, if you're the pretty girl, oh wow, you're hooked up. If you're a pretty girl, the sisters, they want to cut your face, they want to beat you up. And so when you're a sister and you're a pretty girl, because my wife was a pretty girl growing up, I know. And so when you're a pretty girl, they want to beat you up, they want to cut you, they want to somehow denigrate you because they're jealous of you so much. So most black girls who are pretty girls, they try to, I'm not pretty, I know everybody say I'm pretty, but I'm sure the hell not gonna say I'm pretty. I'm not pretty because you don't want to get cut.
Right across the face.
You see, and so then we always live these lies. We live these whitewashed lies where people are able to tell us who and what we are. How do you know who the hell I am? Well, I said you that way, didn't I? See, so you're whatever way I tell you. See, a lot of times the new black media, a lot of times they talk about the fact that white people say I'm white and I say so. But I'm gonna tell you something. People are like that. People is whatever they say so. That you're whoever they are. See, you're whoever they are. They never know who you are. They never allow you to be you. And so you're who you are. I remember when I first started publishing books years ago. And so then so I was once talking to people. I'd written a book on Islam and China, Mao Muhammad. And so then I was speaking about the book, and I was talking about the Muslims in China and all that type of good stuff. So then it came down to question and answer. And then this sister, she kept looking at me kind of disappointed. And so I said, what's the problem? I said, you're too down to earth. I said, what do you mean? What do you mean? You wrote a book. You're supposed to be arrogant. You're supposed to be different.
Oh.
You upset me. You're too down to earth. You see, and that's what I had known since high school that people create images of who you are. But I thought that when I got grown that I still wouldn't have to suffer this. But we do suffer this, Eve. People are always defining who I mean, have you ever had that problem where people know who you are or what you should do and they won't let you be you?
Oh, yes. In real time, people telling me what conversations I should have, what topics I should stay away from, when I should be live. That's fun. People telling me when I should be live. So then let's say I fold. Okay, I'll just do everything that everybody's telling me to do. And then nobody shows up for my conversations anymore. Like, no, this is not about y'all. This is about me. This is a very selfish thing that I'm doing on Wednesdays with Dr. Winters. And I love involving the people in our conversations. But, when you allow people to take what they think they know about you as fact, well, then you start losing you because you're starting to try to fit that picture or that narrative that they have of you. So take 10 people and they all have different versions of you.
Yeah.
So you're supposed to just, why do we have to work so hard? Why should I have to fit into all of these different molds when people could just appreciate authentic me, however it is. And if they like it, cool, let's rock. And if they don't, hey, you know what it is and you don't have to be here. But in real time, people will say, no, I'll like you more if, and then, do that thing.
But but Eve, when you think about it, is that how often are we allowed to be authentic? How often are we allowed to be authentic? I mean, you can maybe be authentic with your partner.
Right.
You can be authentic most of the time with your children, not all the time. Because with your children, you got to play act a lot like you want to whoop them. Or, so you got to act a lot with your kids.
That's true.
But most of the time, we find that we're accepted more when we present ourselves the way people think we are, and that's not good. But in a way, that's a form of whitewashing, because we're allowing. Yeah.
No, it is. I was thinking about what we teach the minis. We teach them that there's a time and a place, but in real time, I remember growing up being told that we're too loud, or that you can't be that loud here. You can't talk so loud. Why are y'all so loud? So, if I'm not on the phone, or if we're not live and it's not dark outside, let them be loud. They're children, let them be their authentic selves. Because like you said, after you grow up, maybe you can be your authentic self on the toilet or in the shower. And that's pretty much it. Because even your partner has an idea of how you're supposed to be. And, maybe you haven't shown them everything yet, because that's how we come into these relationships with our representative, and not necessarily
most women aren't like that. Most women who've been able to keep a man a long time is usually very spontaneous. They usually, in a sense, have lots of tricks up their sleeves, and you never really know them. So, that's one of the reasons why you always be with them. Damn, who the hell is that? Is that my wife? Or is that my partner? So, so come on now. You family, do not listen to this woman telling you about just being just maintaining the status quo. She knows that that's not how life is about in a real relationship. In a partnership, you're always trying to fluctuate and be different. You see.
It's true. That's look, the women can feel things, and we can we can operate with less words and with more words. I think that our America's supposed to be the land of the free, but we're not really free. And then you're supposed to be able to be yourself, live your true self, be your truth. Your truth matters, Dr. Winters, but so does mine. But if my truth says that your truth is wrong, well, okay, you're just gonna have to have your truth over there, and I'm gonna have my truth over here. That's where we are right now. So then inside of that, people have their view of how and who we are already. So, you can try to present authentically, like I do. I try to present authentically, but it doesn't mean you're gonna know all my secrets or know, my deepest, darkest thoughts.
But should we? Let's talk too. He says, yes, Dr. Winters, and the Wazi sister Eve, FBA, number one, B1, and Bad Baby. But but again, in a sense, is that most people know just Eve as the Wazi. I like to know Eve as Eve, and that's why on our show you don't find I know Eve. Was that Eve? That was Eve. She make you scared, baby. So here we got just Eve, and we got that warrior spirit. We got, in a sense, that earthiness, but at the same time, we'd rather have just Eve, because just Eve, in a sense, is allowed to be who and what she is, and who and what she wants to be or can be. See, most of the time we're not allowed to be who we are. Most of the time we're playing our roles. I mean, even when you got a partner, you're a lover, you're a friend, you're a doctor, you're a counselor. You know, I mean, people don't understand that, or even with your children, you play these varied roles, and so then sometimes you do have to run in the washroom and sit on the toilet and just say, "Damn, whew, I'm tired." Just like sometimes you want to pray to God and say, "God, Feasibillah." That means in the service of God. Yes, I'm in the service of God, Feasibillah. But at the same time, sometimes you want God to make it easy. Sometimes you want God to make it so everything just goes straight. But then there's stuff. Oh, what the hey, come back down, come back. Ah! Okay, ow, no. Why can't we just find those true connections? That's why when we've been whitewashed. We grow up, we're taught if we just work hard, we're going to get this. If we just work hard, we're going to get that. Our parents, when we go to college, we don't go to college. I want to be a historian. Oh, nigga, what? Stop that bullshit. What about a psychologist? Stop that bullshit. You're going to school, nigga, to be a damn, get a job. But I want to like what I'm doing. I don't like what I'm doing. Why should you like what you're doing?
Right.
And so and that's the thing that makes you envious sometimes of white boys and white girls, is that they're able to go to college and study whatever they want to study, and then because they daddy or they uncle or somebody got a friend, they're gonna you're gonna get a job.
Right.
They're gonna put you in something. You know what makes me mad, Eve, is how the only jobs black people usually get are government jobs. Oh, Dr. Winters, that's bullshit.
No, that's very real.
It is.
To the point that we made earlier, my parents, they weren't government workers, but the post office is government job.
Government job.
So
teaching.
Right. The public school, right. The government job, right.
County worker.
Right.
City worker.
All that. Bus drivers, government.
Bus driver. Post office.
That's right.
Firemen, policemen. We only get government. They don't let us go into those companies as CEOs. And then if we happen to go to college and get the wrong degree, like in history or sociology or psychology, we're working for an agency. Mm-hmm. And that agency, they have to live off grants.
Right.
And it's terrible, isn't it, to think that when it comes down to it, that we're always working government jobs.
I thought that was always like a way for them to keep their finger on the pulse of our advancement. Because like you said, if you can only work entry level, or if you can only get up to middle management, when you feel like you've made it because your family is comfortable, you're bringing home a check, and then you get to pass on the bullshit. If you go to school for 12 years and then you go get a job, then you will be able to take care of your family. Or you go to school for 12 years and then you go to more school for however long, then you should be able to take care of your family without knowing that Brad and Jennifer have a leg up, so they get to go to school and be an artist, because when they get out of this 4 years, they're going to go be a banker, which is not an entry level job, and it's not a government job to go work for Bank of America, but
or their parents got the money. I remember when I got out of university, I used to work for this agency called Family Focus. I was surprised because the other day somebody said, "Oh, I'm from Family Focus," but then when I worked for Family Focus in the 70s, it was a rich family. The family that owned BMC Bank, BMC Bank. They started Family Focus so they could get their grandchildren into social work. Mm. See, they can make the business.
Right.
They can make the business. Just like my like you got a grandchild and your grandchild says, "Hey, granddad, can you give me some money to start a business?" Now, and then my son will say, "Yeah, so and so, his grandmother gave him $5,000. His grandmother gave him $7,000. Granddad, how much can you give me?" Well, maybe 300, 500. I can definitely give you 500, but what is 500? What is 300? When these other people giving their children 3,000,
Right.
5,000, 6,000, you know.
That's
Then
real. I remember when we bought our house, the bank was, or the lender, the guy that helped us sign the paperwork, he was just like, "Oh, can't you just call your parents? Can't they just?" And we're like, "Do what? For how much?" And not that our parents don't have it.
they got it, but they don't have it.
Right. But we're
They
not
could get
limited
it.
like that.
They could get it. They
We're
can
not
get it.
limited like that, though.
Yeah.
You know, we get some money and it's tied up in different things because they tell you that that's how you're supposed to keep your money.
Right.
But what they don't tell you is that, no, do that so that when your family needs some money, you can't help them. You know, it's real sneaky how they've told us how to incorporate wealth into our family structures and then to keep it away from other people. You know, as long as your unit is good, you know, fuck your cousins. You know, your household is good. You know, you don't need to worry about that. You know, an uncle or, you know, then you haven't seen them in 10 years. You know, fuck a family reunion, Dr. Winters.
Yeah.
You don't want to go there anyway. They got the big ass mulatto picture. You know, they will talk you out of your own shit and then be right there with their hands out for the same thing. But you're not there to claim it. So then it's like, well, okay, I guess I got to give it to them. They're the ones who want it, you know. Team Zulu in the chat, you see that? Because I had the same thought when you were talking about all the different jobs. Like, we are the bloodline of the damn country in general, just working these government jobs. But it made me think about restaurants. Every restaurant that I will say this. I'll say there's my one restaurant that has a white chef that the food isn't like horrible, but the rest of the restaurants that we go to, it's got to be black chefs back there for the food to taste like how it's tasting. And then we see it and we're like, okay, that's why, you know, and then we will frequent that establishment, even though it's not black owned, but the black chefs is in the back chefing, you know, the food and, you know, it's good. You can tell that they know what they're doing, and not that white chefs don't know what they're doing, but it's different, right? It's different.
I'm going to tell you something. You know, anybody that have white people that they work with or white friends. Now I'm going to tell you something. White folks cannot cook good cakes most of the time. I wouldn't advise eating anything, but they can do a lot when it comes to that damn pasta. They can make good pasta pies, good pasta salads, all that type of shit. They are good with come on now.
They got their noodle game up.
they can do that. Team Zulu says, so what I hear you saying, good doctor, is by default, we are the backbone for this mug and haven't fully realized that we are. But see, we have one problem. We have one problem, Team Zulu. And this is our problem. You know that's right, boo, blah, blah, blah. You got that right. But the thing is this, we have one problem. And that problem is that it's hard for our children to ever get on their feet. And sometimes we're still helping our children when they're in their 30s and 40s, you see. Whereas most of the time when you're Caucasian, most of the time your kids are well established by the time they're in their 40s. They're well established. They got nice bank accounts most of the time. Not now too much, because I think now they say the average person in America don't even have $200 to pay for a bill, and so that shows that things are messed up. But usually, you know, Caucasians, their children are kind of independent. But we find with our children that even when they get in their 40s, they still a lot of times need our help. You see, and so it's very difficult. It's very difficult to gain that independent thing. And then in a sense, you know, your children, they look at TV and they've been whitewashed. So they feel that as a grandparent or a parent, you're supposed to be able to give them everything they want. And most of the time you can't.
Right. And then, man, that's almost like Santa Claus. You know, you teach your child about Santa Claus. They go to school with children of different resource availability. So now
Right.
Santa Claus is supposed to have delivered a 360 to you, a PlayStation 5 to you, but I just got socks.
Yeah.
Well, you're okay. I don't know if this is something I want to keep passing on as much as, I get the fairy tale, I get the whimsical ignorance is bliss, let them be children, but no, what you're passing on is some shit. If you're telling them that this person is for everybody, but then in real time, that everybody person is very specific on what people are getting. And then it's like what you just said about Brad and Jennifer, they're well established when they're in their 40s, and then we're still struggling paycheck to paycheck. And it's a lot of times it's because we've passed on or we're passed down some bullshit. Telling someone to go get a degree or an advanced degree, not telling them how much it's going to cost, it's a game changer in a bad way.
Yeah.
Because people have hundreds of thousands of dollars in student loans for a job that would have never paid $100,000
a year. That's right.
Right. Like, how did you make that make sense other than you were told to go to a good school? You were told to get a degree.
Yeah.
And because you went to this good school and you have a degree, you should be able to get a job. But you can't. And now you got loans. So.
And, but what makes so bad is that, like, I've been trying to tell my grandchildren sometimes is that, go to college in state. I don't want to go to college in state. Granddad, I want to go to Alabama. But you're going to have to pay that out-of-state tuition. And I said, they're going to give you that grant. They're going to give you a grant. Then they're going to give you a loan. So you're going to be pretty well covered for tuition. See. But if you live on campus, that's where they're going to hit your ass for $30,000, $40,000. And if you went away to university, they don't even feed you. You only get one meal on Sunday. Get out of here.
That's right. That meal plans suck now.
Did that happen to you too? My son, he always say, "Damn, Pops." He said, she always calling me every Sunday. I said, that's because they don't feed you on Sunday. You get one meal.
The cafeterias be closed, and man, those meal plans is a whole ripoff.
That's right.
You just gave me flashback. Having to figure out how to split 10 meals over a 7-day week, but we used to eating 3 times a day. So it's 21 meals, but no, I only have 10 meals for the week.
Like when I was a freshman,
somebody not eating somewhere.
When I was a sophomore, I was on the football team. When I was a freshman, damn, they said look, there go Clyde with his plate. Yes, I went up and got my seconds.
You're paying for it.
Yeah, you're paying for it. And then Sunday, they got nerve enough on Sunday. And when you're in college, I don't know, you may have was different. When you're in college, Saturday night, everybody out partying, you might be out all night. And then if you make it to the lunchroom by 1 o'clock, it's closed.
Mm-hmm.
It's closed. It's closed.
Yep.
And so you're gonna be hungry the whole time.
Yeah, I thought something was wrong with me when I went to the cafeteria on Sunday at 2 o'clock, and there was nobody there. I'm talking
nobody there.
Even go get cereal.
Then he pulled down the counter.
No, that's them making us participants in this illusion, right? Because again, we're only here because they told us that we're going to have a better life if we follow through with this. If you do your 4 years or 5 years, you're a super senior, you're going to get out of this and have something to show people that you're valuable, that you are high value, that you're worth something, that you went through this, and you've got letters behind your name. But then the jobs aren't lining up, that callbacks aren't happening. So then they tell you, oh no, it's because you don't have an advanced degree. No, now you need to advance your education. So, okay, well, let me go back to school. Let me get some more loans. And now I'm that.
And then they always tell you, put it off till later. And then when later come, you don't have a wife, you don't have a husband, and so then and you have nothing, you have nothing,
Right.
And it's It's what do you want out of life? Because I found out of everything I found out of life is that the most important thing in life is friendship with a mate. That's the most important thing in life, Because see, if you got a job, you always go get money. It's either Friday, Wednesday. Sometime after Wednesday, you're getting a payday. Between Wednesday and Friday, it's a payday for most people. But the thing is, this is that it's what do you want? It's happiness, it's contentment. And I just keep on thinking about the fact because when I keep thinking about my daughter, my daughter, and when she said, look at your son, look at him, and he's sitting there looking, and she said, look, he's content. See, that's what I did. I made him like that. I said, okay, what can I say? And so I couldn't argue with her. She's a wonderful girl. I love her. Now, I mean, hey, I only had one daughter, so all my daughter-in-laws, they're my daughters. I love them. They treat me nice. So what can I say? But the point is this, is that it's sad because we go through life always being whitewashed. Yes, family whitewashed. We come out and we have these ideas, and I don't care who the hell you are. I don't care how black power you are. Deep down, you do believe if you work hard, you're going to be successful. Deep down, you feel that, yes, your mama and daddy and great-grandmama and told your auntie and told you that the white man ain't no good, but you feel you're going to find that white man is going to help you to be successful. See, and this is what you believe. But see, belief and reality are two different things. And that's why we give you guys a reality check every week.
Yes. I love that. Belief and reality are not the same. That's why I try to stay away from beliefs, but I will disclaim it. If you hear me saying that I believe something, it's just because it's how I feel. I don't necessarily have any science to back up my feeling as much as I feel it right here. And maybe there is science to back it up. I will find that evidence, but no, what you just said is reality. We've internalized their hate for us and then told ourselves that all we got to do is work harder, because on some level that is real. We've been able to work hard, or we've been able to do the job better than them, easier than them. That the outcome is not the same with the amount of work involved. So then we take that and say that it's okay that they've whitewashed everything because I'm a hard working nigga, and I'm gonna make it happen either way. But that shouldn't be reality either. It shouldn't be that.
You have people like Boyce Watkins. You got to start a business. All you people out there, all y'all do is think about getting a job. But if it gets to tell you that you got to have the job, if you're a foundational Black American, you have to have a job to get the money to be able to become successful. Right. And I think with all these people who told they were made it on their own and they pulled themselves up by their bootstraps. No, somebody gave them some money. Yes. Somebody gave them an opportunity to make money. Because in this man's world, you got to have money. When I was doing our research on the Black elites of Europe, and then when I read about some people in the 1600s being millionaires, I just said, damn, how could you be a millionaire in the 1600s? But it's just always, and then I was reading when they was talking about the Gilded Age. They always talk about the 1%, and they're still talking about the 1%. Mm-hmm. And then people, they want to make $100,000, and then when they make $100,000, they said that $100,000 is an ish. No, because you're spending $150,000. Right. So it's very hard. It's very hard. It's very hard. But we're about to end the show. But anything you want to say? Any final comments?
I think that I'm Black and I say so is going to be stronger than I'm white and I say so, because they don't even say I'm white and I say so. They expect us to just treat them like that. But we could get, very powerful very quickly with a few words. So, then we start acting like the things that we're saying, and we won't have to worry about whitewashing because they will be acquiescing and following our lead.
That's right. And they're always following our lead. And that's why we run the world. Okay, family, you guys have a great evening. Thank you for showing up. See you next Wednesday.
If you're not going to speak up, the ones who do. If you're not going to speak up, the ones who do. If you're not going to speak up, the ones who do. If you're not going to speak